Hey everyone, thanks for clicking in. Today, I'm extremely excited to showcase our brand new one-screen touchscreen, one-screen core. So this unit is going to be our most affordable touchscreen, but we're still packing a ton of power, capability, tools, and of course, quality. Now, ultimately, in our presentation today, I'm going to do a high-level overview to give you a really good feel of what's coming with this product and how it can benefit you. We'll cover hardware, software, training, and support like we normally do, but really give you a high level. I am going to definitely make sure that you understand that each of these tools that we're going to go over today, there's going to be other videos that are going to specialize and be specific to those to get more in depth so you better understand it. Today is going to be a more high-level overview for you, okay? Now, let's jump immediately into hardware. 65-inch, 75-inch, 86-inch, 98-inch diagonal screens that we offer for the core piece. On top of that, they're all gonna have the same specs. You're just gonna have a difference in diagonal. All of the screens come standard with the dummy stylus pens. They're magnetic, they pop right there on the front. You have a magnetic eraser. You can always erase with your fist or the back of your hand as well, the annotations. We have a remote control. 3 customizable buttons, which is great because there's about 50 different things you can customize for those buttons. Also has Google Voice Assist, which is also nice, that's built in. We also have 40 points of touch, 4K resolution, anti-glare glass, 9H rated thickness, extremely durable, extremely quality. 2 front-facing 20-watt speakers for great audio output. Now, additionally, this is where options come into play with core. So first of all, a couple of different camera options. One is this one right here, our track cam. On the back side, there's a cavity where you can input a Windows or a Chromebox type OPS, Open Pluggable Source Computer, to get different inputs there. On top of that, a wearable microphone. The wearable microphone is great because we have some tools that are built in that are going to need or desire a microphone for better application. Microphone also does audio amplification, using those two 20 watters to amplify your voice a little bit better. We even have a sensor box that can be mounted here at the bottom. That's something where you can take an NFC card and log into your one-screen account. And additionally, it also does temperature and humidity and proximity sensors. So another piece that can be added as well. So with one-screen core, you can have the base model, but you can also pick and choose a lot of great additional accessorial pieces to make it your own, if you will. Now, additional to that, you are going to have inputs right here on this side and on the back. USBs, USB-Cs, HDMI ports, all those kinds of applications are going to be applicable for you if you want to be able to plug in and out at that point, so no problem there. Now, jumping over right into our guts of the screen, if you will. So we are boasting an Android 14. We have 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of ROM or storage. We have an octa-core processor, and we're less than 2.5 millisecond on the response time. These specs are through the roof, but don't forget, this is our affordable version. So we're packing a ton of capability, a ton of power into a very affordable price, which is really exciting for us today. Let's go a little bit further. You saw me picking up a pen and just literally drawing on the screen. This is our pen to annotate. This is not a common feature, but a great tool set. Walk up, grab a pen, start drawing. And you can draw over any input. So whether it's your Windows, whether it's Chrome, whether it's Android, doesn't matter. Pick up a pen, draw, you get the toolbar, you can change colors, thicknesses, you can save, all that good stuff. Now, what I was circling over here is this, Google Drive, Google Workspace. Remember, we are EDLA certified, meaning that it's Google authorized. So whether it's the Google Drive, Play Store, Slides, Sheets, Docs, they're all available, all applicable. The great part is you have the ability to do a one-screen account with our product. The one-screen account can then bind to Google Drive. It can bind to Microsoft OneDrive. And of course, you can have your Google Workspace. Of course, you can also go to your Play Store and download Excel and Word and PowerPoint as you need to. So you can use it in a lot of different fashions at that point. Now, what you'll notice over here is the sign out button. I'm already signed in. So when you're at the home screen, you have a little green button where you can then choose to log into your OneScreen account. You can do so by typing information onto the screen, either Google account or email or what have you. You also can click on that, get a QR code, use your smartphone, snap it, sign in with your phone. But I mentioned that sensor box earlier. The sensor box has that NFC option if you choose to go that route, to where you can NFC in and of course get now your customized OneScreen account with bound either Google or Microsoft. So you can have 2 to 3 different ways to get into your OneScreen account, just depends on how you want to do it. From there, you're going to see all these tools. One really important aspect of OneScreen is super powerful but simplistic, easy to use, okay? You saw me customize that right there. I pull up from right here, those are your apps. If I pull up from the very bottom, these are your open apps. And again, just like your smartphone, just like your tablet, you flick up and you can go ahead and get rid of it or close that application. So the learning curve is very, very minimal. You have the ability, if you already know how to use a smartphone, if you know how to use a tablet, you know how to use a OneScreen. And that's what's great about it. There's a very minimal learning curve there. Now let's jump into some of our tools over here. Right side, left side. These are onboard teaching tools, and there's a lot of them, from whiteboarding to sharing, and again, to right here. If you look at this, we have lock screen, we have timer, stopwatch, spotlight, record, calculator. All of your standard tools are gonna be here. The great part is, if you connect a computer either wired or wirelessly, or if you have an onboard computer, again, Windows or Chrome, about 90–95% of these tools are still applicable. So we've done a great job of intermingling the Windows and Chrome with Android to give you really the best case scenario if you happen to want to use a different input. So a lot of power there. Here's what's great. We've added some new stuff. Look at this. We have an AI bot now. So you can go ahead and type in or speak and be able to get answers right there on the screen. Additionally, we also have the AI Smart Select as well. And this allows you to literally circle anything on the screen and Google it or ask AI about it. So we're adding some tools there as well, which can be very beneficial in the classroom. And so you can do all that also. Now, remember, these tools are always going to be here, so very easily accessible. Click here, click there. And again, doesn't matter the input that you're going to be in. Now let's jump right into our OneScreen Write tool. This is our whiteboard, our annotation tool that's going to give you a ton of capability. This I can spend a ton of time on. I'm going to overview for you. But let's start here. Themes, don't forget, we got themes, we've got background colors, so don't worry there, we got you covered. Now, if you look here more closely, saving, importing, exporting, anything that you do in this screen, you have the ability to email that information, QR code it. You can send it directly to your Google Cloud or your Microsoft OneDrive. You can save it internally to the 128 gigs of ROM that's storage. So many different things you can do. I can import information directly from my Google Drive right here. So there's so much capability that you can take advantage of that you can utilize within our whiteboarding software. Now here's some fun stuff that I really want to go over. Now look at this pen. We can either use the pen as an annotation tool, right? However, I'll erase that real quick. However, I like finger to select. What finger to select does, watch this. If I do some simplistic math, for instance, I can take my finger and just grab that too. If you've ever used a touchscreen, you know that's not common. So right here, you normally have to go from select to pin and back and forth all the time. What's great about finger to select, guess what? And I'm gonna flip my pen over, watch that. I can do a different color, thin side, thick side. But again, because I have that, I can just use my finger to move something. I don't have to worry about using any of this down here. And again, I can even, watch this, lasso, and take this information over here and move it around as I need to. So again, draw, move. This is a fantastic tool. Very simplistic looking and feeling, but it adds a lot of power, a lot of capability. Now, 2 fingers on the screen, that's gonna give me the ability to give that kind of infinite whiteboarding. And of course, you can always zoom in and zoom out. Those are your standards, just make sure you understand that. Let's go back to our other screen. Now, let's fly through some of these. Search. This is great because I can input any word, phrase, whatever, and it's gonna give me online images. I can also do it with YouTube. So I can embed up to 11 images onto any one whiteboard. And of course, I can have a lot of whiteboarding options, but I can bring in images and YouTube videos right onto the screen. Don't forget, you also have the ability to split screen from whiteboard to a browser and drag content that way, but why leave the whiteboarding space if I can get the images right here? So a lot of good functionality there. Ruler, compass, Protractor, really great pieces. Click on that, off you go. I'm not gonna show you how to use all these guys. You guys know it, but very easy to utilize and they're all right there. Don't forget shapes, 2D shapes, 3D shapes, super functional. Love the multi-user, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people. I can have 4 different palettes, choose different colors, and guess what? We have our own space to utilize. So get 2, 3, 4 kids up here and off they go and they have their own palette. They can erase, they can draw, do what they wanna do. Now, some other ones, mind mapping. You have obviously the moving capability. If you have document cameras, you can actually have a document camera, snap an image, have it right there in the whiteboarding tool. And what you'll also see is some additional tools from forms to grids to notes. I love the formula tool. Higher level math can be great for this. You have all kinds of Greek symbols and things that are beyond my scope of math, but sine and cosine and pi, these are great things that you can just go ahead and build. Teachers love that, especially those middle to high school teachers that are gonna be able to take advantage of that. Now look at this. I'm gonna get into this tool a little bit later. It's called One Screen Lesson. However, we built this now into our whiteboarding software and it also lives on its own. But what's great about this is you can apply filters for grade as well as subject, click on it, insert it, and now I can insert a lesson right into my whiteboard. So that way we can annotate on it and work on it and go from there. So having lesson brought into whiteboard as an option, again, fantastic. Now look at this, elements. We've added periodic table. So you can bring these, I can insert them, we can talk about them, we can annotate with them. Again, having that periodic table is gonna be huge. Lastly, I wanna show simulations. We've now partnered to where we can bring PhET simulations right into the whiteboard as well, just like you saw with our one screen lesson. And just to kind of give you an example, so you click on it, and again, I have this guy here, this is movable. I can get rid of the backside if I want to. I can make it full screen if I want to, but this gives me the option to do a simulation right in the whiteboarding screen. And so what it really does is gives me the ability now, and I can get rid of that one, for instance. I'll click on this. I can have the ability to annotate and work in this space, but then from here, go ahead and choose playground, and I'll make this really fast. Watch this. I'm doing now a simulation right here on the whiteboard screen. Let's go ahead and do a skateboarder, and off she goes. So these are awesome things and so many different simulations that you can bring in that you can utilize right within our whiteboarding tool. Now to finish up, everything you do is saved, and I can go to any one of these like we'd already seen before. And at that point, like I said earlier, I can export to my cloud. I can send via email, I can QR code, I can save to the internal drive, all kinds of ways. And you can even save it in this format of the whiteboard so that it's editable in the future. You can adjust it as you want to in the future. So that's just a taste of our whiteboarding tool, but again, extremely powerful, extremely capable. One Screen Share. This is our sharing tool for wireless devices. Please note, any hardware, any operating system, smartphones, tablets, Chromebooks, laptops on any operating system can wirelessly share from their device onto the screen. Up to 9 devices at one time, if you so choose. Doesn't always have to be, but anywhere between 1 to 9 devices can be shared up here. To show you a couple of different settings, we also have the option, allow devices on different Wi-Fi networks to connect. That's not common. You usually have to be on the same Wi-Fi connection. In this case, you can go ahead and toggle that one on and have that as an option. There's permission mode. That's paramount. You gotta have that so that way kids can't just wirelessly stream content up there. The teacher has got control and permission. We can stream via Chromecast, AirPlay, Miracast, we have Webcast, and we have One Screen Share, which is our free tool that you could install again on any device that you want to utilize. But not only can I stream wirelessly up here, 9 devices maximum, I can push this content and sync it to any devices in my audience, as many as I want to. So this content can show up on the kids' Chromebook, for instance, if they wanted to see it because it's maybe more comfortable or easier for them to see on their desk. A lot of different options. And that One Screen Share app, it allows you to even make, especially if you're doing it on a phone or a tablet, the ability to use it as a wireless document camera. You can use it as a remote control. There's a lot of different other features that you can utilize with that. So the wireless sharing tool, One Screen Share, tons of capability. And so what we've covered right there, onboard teaching tools, from whiteboarding to sharing to all these tools here, from AI bot to the smart tools, it's all our onboard tools. Now, from here, let's pivot to One Screen software applications. These are our AI applications that are built for teaching devices, okay? So that means you can use them on the screen, but by all means, you can use them on your devices as well, tablets, smartphones, and laptops. Now, a big change at OneScreen, and not a change, let me rephrase that. We've been doing this for a long time, but just recently we've built a lot of great software ourselves, right? There's an ability, you can always get a third-party software and white label it, and we do that on occasion. But most of our software we've developed in-house, which gives us a lot of capability of how that software gets developed and adjusted and grow in the future. So, number one, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about OneScreen Scribe. OneScreen Scribe is awesome because it can do a lot of different things. Now look here, I have the ability, number one, if you look here, transcribe, translate, record, or I can just section out to transcribing and translating, or just to recording. I can choose, because again, we have the optional microphone that you can wear, or if you have a camera that has a microphone there. Either way, as long as there's a microphone, this is gonna be a great tool. All I have to do is click start. That's how simple it is, team. This is something where we make these very powerful tools, but super easy to use and to figure out. And so right now, what is it doing? It's actually transcribing and translating real time what I'm saying. Now the other fun part is that I get this little purple toolbar up here, right? This allows me to give some control or have control over it. So if I want to change it to English, I can literally click on that and now we're looking at it in English. If I want to go back to Spanish, and there's about 20, 30 different languages that you can choose from. It's not just Spanish. The other nice part is if I want to hide it, I can hide the transcript. Maybe I just want to have it working in the background without taking up any real estate. But the great part is, as I mentioned earlier with OneScreen Share, if I have the students' devices, at that point, mirror imaging my screen, guess what? Maybe some students that are in ESL want to be able to read their native language as I'm speaking to help close that gap of them trying to learn English. There's a lot of different things as you think about this tool on how you can use it. Parent-teacher conferences, the parents that might not speak English, maybe you can speak to them and they can read what's going on. So it gives you a lot of options there. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and open the app again. I'm gonna stop it because I wanna show this to you. Now, when you stop it, you have the ability to then choose to save it, okay? And so I can give it a title, all that good stuff. I'm not going to, but look at this. I can create a quiz and I can generate notes. So let's start with the notes. This is called Super Notes, another piece of our OneScreen Scribe tool. Super Notes is gonna take whatever I spoke about for X amount of time, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever. As I'm using the screen, because I was recording, maybe I have whiteboarding, maybe I've got a PDF, a PowerPoint, even a video. It's gonna extract images and everything that I said and give you a concise bit of information of notes to then be able to pass to your students. Your students are gonna take their own notes, but you want to then also have kind of a baseline note section. So watch this, I'm gonna click on proceed. I'm not gonna do this, I put my email in and I can choose concise, moderate, or extensive level of notes that I'm gonna get to my email, at which point then I can go ahead and share with my student base. So the ability to have, in essence, a Cliff Note version of everything I said with imagery, fantastic. Now what you'll see here, this is the other piece, QuizWiz. So QuizWiz.ai is something we've also developed over the last few years. I'm gonna click on that, click on Create Quiz, and now it's gonna take me into our, again, AI cloud-based tool called OneScreen QuizWiz. Now you'll see here, quiz settings, all of everything that I just said, 18 sentences, 278 words. I can choose multiple choice, fill in the blank, true, false. Level of difficulty, number of questions, click on Create Quiz, and off we go. So literally what I said in X amount of time is gonna then generate via our AI relevant questions and answers. The best part is, this is not something we shove down your throat. You have the ability fully to go ahead and adjust the question, to adjust the answers, to get rid of answers, to add your own answers. So you can customize it on the back end as well. And then when you're done, you click on this, I can save the quiz, I can PDF it, more importantly, I can put it into a Google form. And I can then distribute that to my students. They take a quiz just like that. And of course, as you know, with Google Form, it's gonna go ahead and have the ability to give you the right and wrong answers. Now I'm gonna clear this real quick because at this point, this quiz tool, remember, this is on the screen. You're normally gonna do a quiz from your laptop. So look at this. I can also upload a file from my Google Drive. I can upload a file from my laptop. At that point, I can take a picture maybe with my smartphone, maybe with a tablet, of a physical piece of paper or a book and extract that using optical character recognition, bring it right into my software and then create a quiz off it. And then I also have web URL. There's not anywhere that content can hide. Spoken word, web, physical, computer. I can take any information and go ahead and create a quiz. Very powerful. And again, those AI-based web tools that can be used on teaching devices. Doesn't have to be used on the one screen. So this is a very great feature set from that standpoint. Now let me jump over to this other tool, Lesson. We talked about that in the whiteboard. Standalone piece. Use it on your laptop, on your tablet. Do it at home, do it at your desk. You can go ahead and create lessons. Now we have about 7,500 pre-created, curated lesson plans that you can take advantage of. And you can go ahead and search through it by grade and subject and all that good stuff. However, we also have AI create a lesson, okay? So what does that mean? I can choose a particular grade, I can choose a particular subject, and I can even do a topic. So let's just say, I don't know, arithmetic. We'll do that real quick and click on that. And now it's gonna generate an outline, all right? Now what's great about this, again, we're not force feeding this, it generates an outline, and that outline you can still make adjustments to. So once it gets created, like you see here, I can X out of it, I can add to it, all that good stuff, and then generate slides. Now I'm gonna have a slide deck that can then be turned into a Google Slide application and either be shared or presented right here on the screen. And remember, that's also embedded in the whiteboarding tool, so you can use it in that way too. So all these different tools are going to be afforded to you through our one screen application. And again, this is going to be that power that we were talking about with our software. We generate and create the software, and we're ever changing it to make it better and better, more efficient and more easy to use. So you can see all the power there. Now, that was hardware, that was software. Let's talk about training and support. What you can't forget is our One Screen Guru application. This is our biggest differentiating tool that we have, period. And we've had it for 13 years, since our inception, okay? What is One Screen Guru? 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. You, your teachers, your principals, your directors of tech, your IT staff, doesn't matter. Anybody in the One Screen world has the ability to video call, audio call, chat, 800 number, email address. 5 different ways for your people to get training, to get questions answered, to get troubleshooting done, okay? When you call them, it is the engineer that's picking up the phone, the person that knows everything about One Screen hardware and software. They're gonna be the ones that can train you on the spot, or you can schedule it. They can troubleshoot for you. They can answer questions. It's not customer service people. These are people that know everything about One Screen, and they're there to hold your hand and to help you grow with One Screen. The best part, absolutely free for the life of the product. You can't beat that. 24/5, absolutely free, on demand, unlimited, built into the screen. Best yet, you can also put it on your smartphone, your tablet, your computer, so you can access them that way. You don't have to do it from the screen. So we're, again, with One Screen Core, we're coming in with the most affordable, power-packed capability, speed, tools, and software, and the best training and support. So that's what we're doing here at One Screen. Very exciting. Thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it. Looking forward to seeing you in the future.